Ever wonder why so many of us still rave about fantasy shows from the 2000s? Um, it wasn't just nostalgia. You know, that decade had a unique spark. Um, the 80s gave us camp, the 90s monsters, uh, but the 2000s blended it all right before a wave of technological advancement, changed everything. And we've seen incredible fantasy in recent years. Shows like Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon boast stunning visuals, uh, but something's missing. A certain charm, a willingness to be a little cheesy. Um, the 2000s weren't afraid to embrace that, and it's why these shows still hold up. And Heroes wasn't perfect, but it captured a very specific 2000s energy. Ordinary people discovering extraordinary abilities. It was a blast. And while superhero shows are everywhere now, they often lack the delightful goofiness of heroes. We traded camp for CGI, and sometimes it feels like a bad deal. Supernatural ran for 15 seasons, a feat in itself. Um, what's even more remarkable is how consistently well received it was. And what a single season dipped below 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, while others hit 100%. Uh, that kind of consistency is rare for any show, especially in the fantasy genre. Uh, Legend of the Seeker divided critics, but audiences loved it. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it was solid fantasy, a classic hero's journey set in a magical world. And um, filmed in gorgeous New Zealand, it was pure escapism. Sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel, just make a really good one. If the 2000s did one thing well, it was a good love triangle of the just similar. Uh, the Vampire Diaries delivered on every trope, and it was glorious. Um, the show had its ups and downs, but it consistently delivered thrills and romance. Uh, um, we haven't seen this level of campy fun in a long time. The 10th Kingdom is a forgotten gem, an epic miniseries that blended classic fairy tales with a dark twist. It took risks and it paid off. Each episode was nearly 2 hours long, and they aired over 5 consecutive nights. Uh, Modern streaming can't compete with that kind of commitment. Um, there have been countless Arthurian adaptations, um, but Merlin from 2008 struck a chord. It put a fresh spin on the legend, focusing on the young wizard, um, and critics and audiences largely agreed that it was a good show, something that's increasingly rare. It's a testament to the show's quality that it managed to improve with each season. Just Avatar: The Last Airbender isn't just one of the best animated shows ever made. It's one of the greatest fantasy shows, period. Uh, a perfect 100% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes speaks for itself. And Netflix's live action adaptation is polished, but it lacks the heart and soul of the original creation. Speaking of heart, it's clear The 2000s had a magic touch. These shows weren't afraid to be a little silly, little over the top, and they embraced their flaws, and that's what made them so special. And it seems like modern fantasy is always striving for perfection, and in doing so, it's lost something along the way. And why did the wizard cross the road to get to the other side of the streaming service? So with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.